this is my second attempt. So I had a whole preamble thing, and like I was like, oh my god, I'm feeling so emotional. I haven't done this since 2022, and it was like a whole cute little thing, and like I was waffling and rambling, and then I realized that I wasn't able to see the chat and the stream properly. But that's fixed now, and what would my channel be without awkwardness and technical difficulties? Okay, speaking of, I actually need to check that the chat works. I hope it works. Alright. Anyways. I don't know how I want to start this, to be honest. As the title says, I want to do a sort of bastard playthrough of Henry. Do kind of earn the Istvan Toth allegations, if you will. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. And yeah, this isn't the first time I've played the game. I played it once before. I actually finished it recently, and I did a very much honorable playthrough with my Henry getting kind of hardened by the circumstances he encountered in the game and stuff like that. So that was my sort of canon playthrough. So this is more just exploring everything else, kind of being a dick, you know? I'm not gonna be a very nice person in this game. And yeah, I guess without further ado, I'll begin. But oh my god, Ninja. Oh my god, hey Fiona. Oh my god, I did not expect anyone to be here, to be honest. Maybe I will give the context, actually, in that case. Yeah. I'll give the context as we get through the stream about what's been happening and stuff. Thank you, Ninja, for asking that. To be honest, I went through a lot of shenanigans. It was kind of rough, to be honest. The positive is that back then I was kind of working odd hours, 0-hour contract type of jobs, and I was struggling quite badly financially. The good news is that now I've got a stable, permanent position, 9 to 5. I would have been at my job for like 2 years very soon. And I work in games, in QA, which is really fucking awesome. I can't believe I get to work in games. But yeah, a lot has happened there at that period of time. But the long and short of it is I'm okay now. I got ill during that period of time, and I got a chronic condition that unfortunately I'm having to deal with. But what is life but a series of challenges that we overcome, isn't it? I know, I will finish Divinity Original Sin 2. And especially, I've played just so much BG3, it's like really reinvigorated my love for Larian. What a great studio. Anyways, I'm going to do... that is my second playthrough. This will be playthrough 1. The not canon playthrough, but the one where I get to be a bastard. I promise I will finish Divinity Original Sin 2. I was having so much fun with it. I gotta say, the cinematics in this game are just incredible. I'm gonna have a lot to talk about when we get to a couple of iconic ones. There's so much to analyze and dissect. It's such... I could write an essay about it, but I won't. That's why I could just ramble here on Twitch instead. You convinced me, Ninja. You've convinced me.
Against this onslaught much longer. Go and take cover with the others. Look out!
I love this character.
Godwin! Who's your weapon?
Oh, right.
To the battlements, move!
Let's see if I'm as bad as gaming as I once used to be. Spoiler alert, a little bit. I'm not that much better.
Will you come to anoint us before we die?
We'll get anointed after the battle, Sir Hans. With booze. Get ready! Prepare to shoot! Position!
Oh gosh. It's honestly really impressive, the ability to be able to like get the drawbridge to unfurl with the right position, isn't it?
A rude awakening, eh?
Also, I might cry a lot in this game, but it's been so fucking cathartic, especially as I like briefly touched upon with experiencing a lot of pitfalls in the last few years. This game made me feel so much hope, and it inspired me to get back into it. Okay, maybe I'll get into the rant later. Maybe I should quickly make sure that I don't let down everyone else. I need to get these crossbows into some enemy heads. Oh my god. I swear I'm way better at this. It's that performance anxiety, yo. Come on, come on. There we go. At least Godwin's better at this than Henry is in my old playthrough. Not so fast, buckaroo. Is anyone left standing? I thought I'd at least get one of them. No such luck, unfortunately. Did I get him? Oh well. What if I want to stay though? Damn it, okay. Okay, if I get one, I'll be very proud of myself. Come on. I want to believe that I at least got one. Come on, mate. Oh, damn it, I got the door. Okay, cool. Okay. Aye aye, chief. Oh my god, imagine if God wouldn't have my voice. Poor guy if he did. Okay. Alright, bastard. Okay. He's dead. You gotta sometimes believe that they're dead before they die. There we go. Okay. Damn it. I haven't poured it. Okay, awesome. Bro! Get off the fucking ladder! Let me pull the ladder down. Swear to God. I was so confused when I first played the game. I had no idea why they decided to start it here. I thought, oh, in medias res, that's like a fun sort of way to get us like situated in the heart of the action and everything. I genuinely thought the game would like continue where the last one left off, so I was thrown off at first.
Just calm down.
I really do like it because once you come across it, when you catch up to it at this point, it's such a like, oh moment.
We were only supposed to deliver a message to Trotsky. The most adventure I was expecting was a fuck or two.
Peak humor, honestly. That was my fucking few years, you guys. I get an arrow in my shoulder, one flies right next to me, and I don't react. The comedy's so fucking good in KCD2. And in KCD1 as well, to be fair. Oh. I get chills. I've got goosebumps. I love this game so much. Oh my god, I'm trying not to cry already. You fucking idiot. Well, I guess Audentes Fortuna Juvat was a good catchphrase in the end.
Keep yelling, Sir Hans?
Good gracious, Harry, you don't mean to tell me you don't know Latin?
My apologies, Your Grace. Unfortunately, I was too busy shoveling shit and picking turnips to find time for studying Latin.
We shall have to rectify that. I can't have an ignoramus for a personal bodyguard.
Anyway, this Aldens, whatever. What does that actually mean?
Audentes Fortuna Juvat. Fortune favors the brave.
I don't doubt it. All we have to do is deliver a letter to Lord Otto von Bergov and ride back again. Doesn't take much bravery.
Ah, yeah, he's got a point.
Christ,
He's got a
don't
good
be
point.
Such a stick in the mud. Aren't you glad to be finally out of that hellhole where we can finally enjoy some adventure? See a bit of the world, meet new women, and simply have some fun.
Sure, but you promised Johannes that you'd be as good as gold, and I'm personally responsible for your safety.
The fields are
Besides,
so beautiful.
Trotsky's in the middle of nowhere, so I wouldn't expect much excitement there.
God help me, my bodyguard's a monk who can't speak Latin.
Sir, Trotsky.
Weirdly enough, when I was a kid, my family would do a lot of road trips, and obviously living in Europe, you get to see a lot of castles.
Fucking impressive.
I've never seen Trotsky Castle though, to be fair. I'd love to.
God must be made of money.
I was so fascinated by castles when I was younger. I can't remember exactly what it was, but apparently they would treat the wood as well, so it was really durable. I think there was a process that took 100 years or something. I think that was a castle in France, if I'm remembering correctly. Oh.
Well, Henry, looking forward to new adventures? Adventures that will become the stuff of legends?
In the first place, Sir Hans, we've got a task
I'll
ahead.
just pause for a brief bit of context. Obviously, you can't rewrite Henry's character. He is still a certain type of person. but the way I'm kind of flavoring it is I tend to find sometimes that they can be from a very sympathetic place, but there are some people who, when bad things happen to them, they kind of use that as a way to justify being selfish or entitled. And that's kind of the angle I'm using here of Henry having had genuinely suffered from horrific trauma, and he kind of sees himself, he can justify to himself that he's still a good person. So even if he's being selfish and he's, not really being kind to people, he kind of justifies it as oh, but I've been through so much and I've made all these sacrifices, blah, blah, blah type of thing. So he's going to be quite focused at the task at hand. He's not going to really want to help people and go out of his way to help people because he's really, one thing on his mind, it's his vengeance. And build-wise, I'm probably going to go for heavy weapons and stealth type of thing, get involved with the stealth world, but also be quite brutal. Yeah, and that's about it for context.
An important one, and a great responsibility. You don't meet such a mighty noble as von Bergov every day. So, first duty, then fun.
Quiet, monk. You'll just spoil the rest of our trip. It's all clear to me. We deliver the message, get the politics over with, and enjoy a bit of adventure together. But why didn't Uncle Hannah's take care of it himself? Unless, maybe he's just testing me.
Why? He must trust you not to botch it up. Otherwise, he wouldn't send you as his envoy.
Of course. How could I possibly botch it up? There are foreign armies rampaging through Bohemia. The king is in captivity, God knows where, and here we are in the middle of it all, carrying an important document. No, I intend to make the most of this trip, one way or another.
You're a bit too keen. You never know what might happen.
Henry, don't be such a lily-liver. Audentes fortuna juvat! Well, enough of the chat. Trotsky's almost within reach.
Sir Hans, how's it looking there in the back?
All good, Oates. Just keep your eyes on the road ahead.
Exactly. If anything in front of us even looks like it's moving, we want to know.
Beat your hair off, Nick. Old Oak's got eyes like a hawk. I don't miss nothing.
Well, we're gonna need that, eh? Oh, I do love oats.
Sir.
Should we get ready for a fight?
Take it easy, Henry. They're wearing von Bergov's colours. They're from Trotsky.
Surround them! Don't let them get away!
Besides, stand a chance against them. Don't do anything foolish, fellas. Just follow my orders.
Alright, we get to build our Henry, everyone. Whoop.
Halt! What are you after here?
Is this usually how you greet visitors, my good man?
This is how we greet armed strangers when bandits are pillaging everywhere.
Can you not distinguish between a noble and a bandit, sir?
It's not always that straightforward these days. Who are you people?
Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein.
We're going to be hearing that a few more times throughout this game.
Master, Sir Hanush of Lipa.
This is indeed the seal of the Lords of Lipa. And unless I am mistaken, Lord Hanush of Lipa is on the side of King Wenceslas.
Well,
while my master is a member of the League of Lords, who side with King Sigismund.
Well,
so it would appear...
I really do love the facial expressions. They do add a lot, don't they?
We're not enemies. We're carrying a message with the aim of putting a stop to the hostilities.
And who are you?
Henry. From Skalitz.
So yeah, as much as I want to do the stealth stuff, I really do want to make sure I've got more buffs in my strength and combat prowess. So I'm gonna go with soldier.
I'm a soldier and Lord Capon's bodyguard. My job is to defend him with my life.
From Skalitz, you say? The one that King Sigismund's Cuman forces plundered?
And slaughtered everyone. Even so, I'm not going to Trotsky as an enemy, but as a peace envoy.
Even so, you're still strangers here, and armed strangers to boot. And as it happens, we're on the trail of just such a band, so why should I trust you?
Yeah. Even if you haven't played the game, I'm sure you could understand that there's different ways to approach things when you want to convince someone. And right now, I am going to try and use my knightly prowess.
We want to negotiate an alliance, and we can help you with those bandits. Together, we'll put them in their place, as a sign of goodwill. And then you'll escort us to Trotsky, and everything will be explained. You'll see.
Judging by the looks of you, your help might well come in handy. All right.
Sorry about the cold reception. You must be cautious. These bandits create mayhem, then vanish like ghosts. We'll be on our way.
Oh, so you won't accompany us to the castle to see your lord?
Sorry, sir, we can't.
In hindsight, it is kind of
Listen, you won't
ominous
make
that
it
we
to the
were
castle
mistaken
before
for
nightfall.
bandits.
Sir Otto's
We're
orders
quite
are to not
well
permit anyone
kitted
after
up,
the
aren't
dark,
we?
Especially while we're away.
It feels like a bit of foreboding.
Best camp until daybreak.
I'll take your point. I mean, back home, the last time someone led a nobleman in trouble into their castle, we had to bombard it to get him out. Is there an inn in these parts, at least?
There is one, but it's a bit of a way out, and I'm not sure your lordship would like it very much.
God! What kind of a backwater have they sent us to?
He's so unamused.
Good luck in hunting down
We
those
love
bandits.
Hans making an incredible
Thomas.
first impression on everyone he
Captain
meets.
at Trotsky. Thank you. And sorry again. Farewell.
Farewell.
I will go into more context about everything, but I don't want to like bombard with all that information now while we're having the cutscenes and like the prologue.
Since there's no tavern within reach, we'll just bed down here for the night. The pond looks inviting, and we've got wine enough.
And what about those bandits?
Well, they're probably keeping their heads down, what with that big patrol combing the woods for them. Come on, fellas. We'll camp here on the bank. At least we can bathe. I stink almost as bad as the rest of you, and you lot are rank.
Alright. I can use my intimidating prowess to be a dick, and, well, you'll see.
Hey, call off that dog and then we can talk.
Heel! What's all the fuss about, Matt? Are you that hungry? Alright, I'll see what I can get for you.
Aw, Mutt.
Well, hoorah! He said last.
I'm so sorry, Oates.
Was a pain in the ass.
Listen, would you have some scraps for Mutt?
That's a good one. He already gobbled up a piece of venison while I was having a piss. I've got one last sausage and I'll be saving that for the way back.
No,
Look,
you're not,
Henry, I'm
Oates.
fond of that beast, but you ought to keep him under control.
No, you're not.
Hey, Oates. Didn't you notice the way Mutt was looking at you? You're lucky I called him off, but I might not be on time next time. So it would be better if you got on his right side. So give him that sausage, eh?
So that's your
Honestly horrified.
Suit yourself then. Take the damn sausage since it's so important to you. But I'll remember what kind of fuller you are.
Alright, you get some sausage, you wonderful lad.
Take it.
All it took was making a character I am fond of upset, which I hope you enjoy it, Mutt. God damn it.
I'm a bit anxious about tomorrow. How about you? Are you worried?
A wee bit. But we've got good intentions. Sir Hans is responsible. And sensible too, when it comes to important things. And no doubt Lord von Berghoff is a wise man and he'll hear him out with a cool head. Clever folks can always somehow come to an agreement, can't they?
I'm not so sure about that. Even the best of folks can fall out. One small wrong word robs them up the wrong way. And next thing you know, the claws are out.
Oh my god.
Aye, I
That is
suppose.
true.
Still, though, I reckon it'll be fine.
Alright. I
Come on,
obviously have to
comrade.
play some of this
Let's throw a few
Farkle.
For the love of God.
Where did you get the table from?
From that cave behind me. It was just lying there. So I says to myself, that's better than playing on the ground.
He's got a point.
I see you've got dice set up. What again?
Just to elaborate a bit more on the no save scumming, I mean in the sense that if I die, I will reload a save. It's not a permadeath run or anything. It's more that if I make choices that have
Well, I've got this
not
silver
great
ring
outcomes
here
and
I want to
consequences, I have to stick with them.
I'll wager
So if I get
Sorry
caught,
to me.
I have to
All right.
pay a fine or worse. So yeah, I don't think it's any fun if like you're gonna do like a sort of evil or like sneaky sort of playthrough. It's no fun if you just always win and load a save. I mean, to me at least.
I hope Lady Luck will be on my side.
Especially like when I played Baldur's Gate 3, that was something that really transformed gaming experiences for me, honestly. I managed to beat honor mode. I played with my partner, and it was such a blast. It was so fun.
If I
And the
was you,
stories
I'd
that
take
you
it.
unintentionally get told through that were pretty hard hitting. I was playing as
Let it be
one of
now.
my D&D
I wanna play
characters
too,
that I've
you
played
know?
before with some friends, and she had a very tragic sort of death. Basically, it was a story about someone who was never granted agency and who lived in fear. She was a barbarian. As much as she was strong from the outside, she was someone who lived in fear and who was learning to try and have genuine courage. And it was harrowing. She lost in Baldur's Gate 3 then. She lost like Astarion and Lae'zel, and she wasn't strong enough. It was genuinely quite painful. Unfortunately, we lost that game right as we reached the final boss. And that story stayed with me.
Come on.
It's kind of amazing the sort of different branching narratives you can get when you have rules like that you implement for yourself. Okay. Let's see here. If I have that, that's 400. That's not quite a win. I'm so bad at
You're
maths.
not afraid of anything.
I'm not embarrassed. I'm not ashamed to say that I am shit at maths. Wait, shit, I think I would have won if I hadn't cocked that up. Ah. Wait. We will see if I'm bad at maths. Am I bad at maths?
Kurva.
I am, but I won, so it doesn't matter.
You played well. What's to be done? A bet is a bet. Here's your ring.
Okay. I get a
Come
ring,
on, Conrad.
and I got the sausage. Out of context, that's not great, is it? The sausage for Mutt. The smoked sausage for Mutt. There we go, we get some more drip.
You dice.
Oh, a fun thing I learned is that there's actually... Can't believe I didn't use that. There's actually a weighted die in this chest. I think there's meant to be an exploit where you can put all of your incredible gear here, I imagine Warhorse may have patched that out. Maybe. But yeah. I don't want to exploit.
Seriously, no, Conrad, my
The early game struggle is such a quintessential part of the experience. I'm sorry, Oates. Can we be friends? I'm not giving him the ring, guys. Don't worry. I'm not changing my mind yet.
Do you know why we're going to Trotsky?
For some big political parley.
Yeah, of course. I'm just wondering if you know what's in that message we're carrying.
Not really, but I reckon our lords want to sound out von Burgo. Bear in mind the times we're
I wonder
living.
who's carrying the letter, and if I can pickpocket it.
And his brother Sigismund, meanwhile, shamelessly plundering Bohemia. We need to know who's going to stand on our side if things get even worse.
Now, I don't know if the game is saved or not. I'll take a look, because I
land
might just
reserve
die and have to
so-
go through the entire Godwin
so he's
sequence
a
again.
big
I'd like to try and pickpocket Hans and try and see if I can read it. Henry can read. He's able to do that now.
To tell the truth, I'm starting to get a bit anxious about what to expect tomorrow. Do you think our big mission will be successful?
Nothing to worry about. We'll get to Trotsky, Sir Hans and von Burgo will parley.
I just have to
then
hear
fly
Oates'
back.
voice a little longer.
You're a bit
I love
sure
him
of
so
yourself,
much.
eh?
Well, this ain't my first time delivering a message. Everything will go according to plan. Don't you worry.
Alright. I think... Let's take a look. Okay, that's pretty promising. Alright, Hans. Just don't look at me. I'm just inspecting the flowers. Stop looking at me! I'm not here! I'm invisible! God damn it, Hans, for fuck's sake. Okay, fuck. I need to get out of here. I need to get out of his frickin' view. Stop looking at me, Hans. I'm a shadow.
I can't abandon the company.
Shut up, Henry. You're abandoning the goddamn company because I need to read that letter. I need to know what it says. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. This is what peak stealth looks like. Except I'll keep the ring. Gotta have drip. Okay. Surely the game would let me steal from my comrades. I swear to God, if Hans is still looking in my direction, I will be so mad. Oh, for fuck's sake, Hans! Jesus Christ. Okay, fine. I'll give up. I'm just gonna try one. Okay, yeah, no, I give up. Alright, guys. Unfortunately, no stealth for me. Hate to see it. Gambison, Hallberg, Milanese. Okay. Hose, armor, spurs. Okay. Do you mind if I pick your pockets? Just... Is that alright? Oh, for fuck's sake, Hans. No, let me... Okay, I don't think I can pick his pockets.
Come here. Henry. Oh, that was a tight thing with the captain, eh?
I got the feeling you'd lost your tongue.
Just for a moment. But true enough. That bastard surprised me a bit.
Well, that's what I'm here for. To deal with that kind of stuff.
And I must say, that was pretty good for your first action as leader of my bodyguard.
He's a pretty... He gets the job done. Is he a good guy?
If Hannah should seen it.
Debatable.
Maybe
But he'll be getting jobs done this game.
Well, I don't know. When I look at you, well, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Kiss my arse. And by the way, since you're here, how about stretching our limbs a bit after that long journey? With a bit of swordplay.
You're in the mood for that after riding so long?
Certainly. So then, eh?
All right then. Just a bit of swordplay for the hell of it? Or should we have a wager?
Let's save the wagers for later.
You always got a wager with
I'm
him.
afraid.
Keep the biting remarks to yourself. I see you're still in armour, so we can get to it right away. Here's a practice sword for you. Have that ready too.
Alright. We love that reactivity. The game processed I already wore my helmet.
Tankard!
So, shall we start?
Ready?
Oh shit, right. Oh, for Christ's sake.
Draw your sword.
Oh, okay.
Hang on, let's get warmed up. I'll attack you a few times. You defend.
Go ahead. Is that the best you've got? I didn't even work up a sweat.
Oh, you will soon enough. A foe in plate armor has to be worn down.
Thank
Let's
you,
see it then.
Jedi Henry.
Attack properly now. A longer sequence.
Alright.
Enough!
Now you're warmed up, eh?
Yeah. But you're pretty winded yourself. While you're attacking, you still have to take care you have strength left to defend.
Yep.
Save the advice and try it yourself.
Gladly. On guard.
Alright.
Good. Good. Nice. That's the way. Good.
Alright.
Oh, that's enough. No one's ever won a duel just by blocking. You've got to make an opening to strike back. And you do that by means of a perfect block.
Perfect block, eh? You've become a real swordsman.
Yeah, no,
Start
it's
your
a
attack then.
famous technique in the history
Doing
books.
great, Henry. That's it. Nice.
It is very Oblivion-esque, the sort of angry sort of dialogue faces, and I do love it.
I just follow up a perfect block immediately with a strike. I'll show you.
Get ready.
I certainly am.
Good, Henry.
Come on.
Good, Henry. My word.
Oh.
You're turning into a real master swordsman.
Be sure to
Oh my
remember,
god, I'm so sorry,
if
y'all.
someone gives you a
I have
riposte,
so many
you can
alarms,
still
so I
fend
don't
it off
forget
with a
about the
perfect
passage of
block.
time.
It's best to follow up right away with your own riposte.
Yeah, right. But what if I want to attack in such a way that you can't make a perfect block?
Then it's best to attack at a spot where your opponent isn't covered. Where he's not holding his weapon. You defend, and I'll show you how.
All right. Come on then. Well,
Oh.
that's not what you meant to do, is it?
No, it's not, god damn it.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Too slow. Nice. All right. I get it. For Christ's sake. Enough demonstrations and explanations.
Let's
have one
let's
training
have a
duel to finish
proper
up, eh?
wager.
Indeed. And let's have a wager to spice things up. How about 100 groschen?
100?
Child's
How about
play.
200? Are you feeling confident or not?
Fine, 200.
Alright.
You're no match for me!
Cut the bullshit and fight.
I'll kill you!
Sorry, I can't resist.
All square
I'm gonna
again.
try and
Well done.
tucker him out a bit, innit?
Ah!
Come on. Say that you're feeling hungry, Henry. You gotta do it, bud.
Nice block.
Ah!
The fight's going so slow, and Henry can't take it anymore. He's lost his patience.
You're a dead man! You know that?
Cut the bullshit and fight.
Alright. I really we can't lose. That would be so embarrassing if we lost at this point. You could have punished me, Hans. I was exhausted. Instead, hopefully I can tucker him out and punish him. Oh, he was tuckered out. There we go.
You fight like an old hag!
bastard!
I am not making enough use on the taunts and all that. There's something so enjoyable.
I'll kill you!
Maybe not so much about the I'll kill you, but there we go.
You can't take me!
We'll see about that.
I hate to break it to you, Hans, but I don't think you're winning, bud.
You can't take me!
We'll see.
There we go. Yep. Alright, I'd say that was nicely handled.
Yield. Enough! Oh, for fuck's sake, you're unstoppable! Oh, you won the bet, fair and square. I'll settle with you when we get to Trotsky. Now let's go and eat. That swordplay gave me quite an appetite.
Alright. Oh, before I forget. Mutt! Mutt! No, Mutt! 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 God damn it, Mutt! Let me pet you. There we go.
Silly doggy.
Oh, and just for the OGs, for the KCD1 OGs out there, this one's for you. Anyone else pick so many herbs at the start of the game in KCD1? Anyways.
So who won, gentlemen?
Oh, it seems this isn't my day. I knew I shouldn't have bet with you. You've improved since that last time in Ratai.
You know what? How did it end up?
That time we had a wager for your bow. How did it actually end up?
Henry, that was no time ago at all. Did you get a bang in the head? And of course, I won.
So much has happened since then. It feels like an eternity.
God's truth. We had no lack of excitement. Anyway, I kicked your ass because I'm a master with a bow.
Indeed. Almost as good as with your tongue.
Oats? What's this food supposed to be?
What's left of our supplies? Tomorrow we'll be at the castle, and we'll get some decent grub.
Decent grub?
Told us earlier I could have shot a hare. And you could have cooked it like they did in the tavern the day before yesterday.
That tavern where you drank away all your coin?
Ha! You've got to have some fun.
And then you tried it on with the innkeeper's daughter when you were shit-faced.
She was pretty. A real peach. Admit it.
Only a fella was there.
So yeah, right now I'm gonna prioritize strength. Which I think, if I'm right, does help with stealth kills and takedowns and stuff like that, knocking people out.
And I had to drag you out of that tavern before everyone pounced on us.
And he had his work cut out. You wasn't having it much.
Now, if you was able to court the lasses like me, maybe she wouldn't have started screeching.
I can't say I'm surprised. Just imagine it, fellas. You're a fair maiden. Your lovely locks falling on your shoulders. No thought of wickedness. And then Tankard's fat head appears before you with his crooked mouth. And he says, "Where's the shit, oh my pretty?"
Ha! I've got nothing to regret. The whole world turns around wenches. Ain't that right, Henry?
Hmm?
You never gave us the goods on that lass of yours. What was her name now?
Teresa. She lived with that crook Peshek at the mill.
And she saved my life.
A brave girl.
Aye. She's a fine lass. And? Is she any good? Like, is she any good? Get me?
You know what? I would like to think, and maybe this is me being naive, that if I'm playing as a not so great Henry, that Teresa would not have been interested in him. So
I don't know.
I don't think
Nothing.
No.
Henry will go for any romance other than like maybe with Clara and stuff like that. because I don't think he can commit to anyone, to be honest. He's got one thing on his mind, and
This travelling isn't too
it's
bad.
revenge.
Apart from the mosquitoes.
Aye. Apart from them.
Where were you yesterday evening, Henry? You were late for supper. That's not what I call watching over our Lord.
Hey, don't make trouble.
So here I will then go with stealth.
In the camp, with you lot. It was Conrad's turn to gather wood, and I wasn't hungry yet. So I stretched out for a bit by the horses.
Oh, yeah? Where? You didn't see him?
I was going for wood.
It was getting dark. I reckon he just overlooked me.
You gave me a nasty shock when you came out of the darkness. You're as quiet as a mouse, and that's the truth.
There's a whole
And what
bunch of stealth
Time.
related
sir?
quests and stuff.
I mean,
I think with the
will we be
people
getting any
in
time
the
off, sir?
Hole in the Wall Tavern that I just did not touch at all.
Once Von Berghoff hears us out, we should set off back home immediately.
What? Straight back on the road?
Well, we could stay a day or two, perhaps.
Does anyone know anything more about Von Berghoff?
You know what? That's
I've
not
already
related
told
to
you all
revenge.
I
He's
know.
not interested.
Von Berghoff is a very important nobleman, the royal chamberlain. He administers the country for the king, collects taxes. It's like this. There's the king, then him, then a very big gap, and then me. And we are envoys sent to offer him an alliance.
I heard he insists on having the finest swords, and that he's got a big collection of all kinds of swords and daggers.
Collecting
No,
them ain't
I don't
the same
remember
as knowing
exactly,
how to
but I'm
use
pretty
them.
sure I was
Is he any good at
I
sword
went into
fighting?
the armory and I was
It
like,
ain't
ah, this
nothing
doesn't
easy
look
to
that
learn.
impressive. Yeah, heavy weapons.
I prefer other weapons. Proper ones. When you take a mace in your hand, a nice chunk of metal, you know one good blow will do the job. No dancing around in circles. Just smash.
Too right. I feel like a king when I got a nice big cudgel.
I'm surprised you didn't say a sword, since you never stop going on about the sword Ishvan Toth stole from you.
That sword is the only reminder I had of Pa. We forged it together, just before he was slain.
Absolute
That's another matter.
ugly sobbing
Suppose you've heard enough of that.
in KCD1, that
Well,
prologue.
You know,
No, it's all right.
I just
Well,
did not get
wouldn't wanna
any
be
of the
in the same shoes if you
foreshadowing.
ever come
I did
face
not
to
know
face
much
with him
about the
again.
game. I just
What?
thought, I guess
Frankly,
it's like a
game
medieval
goes.
sim.
Enough,
So this
enough.
is just the
Otherwise we'll
vibe,
be
isn't
here
it?
for hours again hearing
And
how
then
Martin the Sword
when
raised
the
even
horror on
though he
Scalets
didn't feel father.
happened,
It's
oh my
complicated.
god, I just got
Leave it at that.
gut punched.
No offense.
It was
Who helped
so,
me
so
tomorrow?
sad.
Getting supplies for the journey
I
back.
laugh at how naive I was. I was just thinking, yeah, this is a medieval sim. I'm just vibing, doing some errands, being a bit of a weirdo.
Oh, you're no fun at all. There'll be a feast at the castle tomorrow, so forget about supplies.
Anyone for another helping? There's plenty left. Maybe even a bit for morning. Hmm?
No thanks. I must wash myself down a bit.
My words exactly. We can't turn up at Trotsky tomorrow in this state.
It really does seem
go
like
and
such a
strip,
poor
Henry.
location, doesn't it?
Fellas, come and help us get out of this arm.
Now,
Are you really
I've
going to
done
be there,
camping
Sir
before. Did
Well,
I
we'll
enjoy
come to a
it?
safer spot to me.
No, actually I thought it was
Such a
god
woman,
awful. I
Oates.
fucking hated it.
Bring some wine to
But
warm
this
our blood.
location, even in my limited knowledge, it's really, really not the right one. It's very foolish, very much out in the open.
You know, we're not on a trip to the baths here, Sir Hans.
Henry's right, sir. Duty first, fun later.
God's wounds. I haven't been away from Rattay in ages. So, here, I intend to live a little. Blasted iron shirt. Oh, what a relief. feel like I've just shed 40.
No, yeah, armor is pretty heavy, to be fair. That may be the case.
Christ. Will I ever live to see his young lordship finally grow up? He's got a good heart, but he doesn't have the sense that he was born with.
Well, responsibility will catch up with him soon enough, though.
There's more chance of me becoming a monk.
I don't know if this is a hot take or not. I really liked the monk quest in the first game. I thought it was awesome. Having a schedule, following the schedule, the intrigue. Hell yeah, that was fucking cool as hell.
Whew. You were right about our stench.
Let's hope this water isn't too cold. You wouldn't want your pride and joy shrinking.
Alright.
I'm more worried about it being too deep.
Come on. Oh, that really shrivels the old ball sack.
What's the matter?
Females!
That's a screenshot right there, that face.
Quietly. We don't want them to spot us.
I saw a reaction image on like the Kingdom Come subreddit of like hands like with the reeds just like leering. It's so funny. It's so funny. I can't remember where it was, unfortunately. Maybe we're about to see it in the flesh soon enough. Everyone get your screenshots ready. Hans read reaction image will soon drop. Yeah, I'm sneaking. Cool. Alright, I'll take the lead. Thank you very much. I know what I'm doing. I know to throw rocks.
Do you think they might be bathing? Come on, let's get closer.
I'm here. You don't need to talk behind yourself. I wanted to... Okay, you know what? What happens? I can't stealth kill her. Alright, that's fair. In fact, that would be probably really fucked up if Henry stealth killed her and came across the other characters later. Oh. Okay, Hans. You know, pick up the pace a little bit, my dude.
Shit. One of them's doing laundry. We have to get closer to the others. Only she's blocking our way, right in our path.
Alright, we'll throw some rocks.
Near her to lure her away. Once she notices it, we'll hurry along the other side.
HUD bunnies, HUD bunnies! I love the fucking HUD bunnies!
What is this racket here?
Oh my god, Hans, bro. This is more dedication that he's shown in stealth, like, ever. Townberg, pff, he could never. Bro, I haven't gotten caught, alright? Yeah. Hans read reaction image did drop. It's such a goofy face, it's so funny.
Henry, I told you to...
Yeah, no. It's awful. Ugh.
something. Stay down, for fuck's sake.
God, that music fucking slaps. The sort of trill it had earlier. I recognized that character immediately.
Don't be a fool, Henry. We don't stand a chance. We'll wait till they're gone, and then head back to camp. Maybe some of our men got away.
Aw. I feel so awful for her. I'm really glad Henry steps up.
Hey! What the fuck are you doing? Hey! Hands off her, you brute! What the hell's going on here? Let her go, you pigs! That bastard's with them!
Fucking hell! You couldn't just leave it be, could you? Come on! Run!
Catch them! Enough, I said! What the fuck? She's mine!
You know what to do. Give him the old bonk. Horny jail. There we go. One thing that's puzzled me is that I may be wrong, but I feel like a lot of people refer to her in the game as having black hair. She's a brunette, right?
Stand there, you idiot! After them! Along the bank!
Christ! When did you learn to swim?
Just now!
Adrenaline's one hell of a drug.
Fucking armor! Come on! We'll cut them off on the other side!
That is another thing that I didn't realize. I know this sounds stupid, but moats, I didn't realize were so defensive because heavy armor and water don't really mix well together. I kind of, like, that blew my mind a little bit. I was like, oh, shoot, that's why they're so tactically defensible.
I'm done with running.
Oh, really? And what exactly do you call...
It looks bad, doesn't it?
Shit. Oh, you've been hit.
What?
Oh, shit.
Well, we can't leave it like this.
I think you're not
Wait.
supposed to always pull it out, right? Ooh.
We've got to flee.
I mean, obviously at some point eventually pull it out, but maybe not in the middle of the wilderness. I don't know. Anyways.
Lead the way.
We love an iconic track.
You pull yourself together. We've got to vanish.
It's your hero, Henry. It's your inspiration for this run. You better take a good look at him. Okay. Oh my god, Hermit the God. That's so cursed. You're right, hands pulling out is foreshadowing. I'll say it. It won't be lost in the archives. Hands! Please sneak. Good sir. I was gonna say on your knees, but with what Hermit the God said, I think it's a bit too far. That's crossing a line right there.
Get away. Got that? Call out as soon as you see them. And then kill them. No fucking around. You, watch the middle of the dodge.
I guess one thing I am curious for people who have played the game, obviously without major spoilers. I have played, obviously, but it's more just a discussion point. What was the purpose of what happened for those bandits? I wonder why we were the victims of that attack. Hopefully, as I replay the game, I will, I guess, realize how and why. Oh shit! We got caught! No safes coming as well. Zigzag time. Shit, I didn't know you could get caught. Zigzag in case they have fucking bows. Sorry everyone, I truly do apologize for your nausea and stuff. God, hurry up, Hen. I'm so sorry, he's not Hal for me, he's Hen. Henry's Hen to me. Yep, alright, first game over. Yeah, probably then. Do you think it is then just fate, Hermit? Do you think it's fate that essentially they were spotted? Okay. I wonder then. I guess it's usually best to stay right behind Hans. So I will try to not go ahead at all. I'm impressed I managed to run that far with how heavily bleeding, well, not bleeding outright, but wounded Henry is.
Call out as soon as you see them. And then kill them. No fucking around.
Okay.
You, watch the middle of the gods. And keep your eyes peeled, right? You two, go up there.
Okay. Stick close to Hans.
You watch this side of the rock. And you, go to the pond. They didn't succeed in swimming to the other side of the pond. I want to know.
I reckon so, because where the last game ends, Hermit the God wrote partially, it was likely that they were looking for the retinue and you had walked into. And I imagine that does make quite a bit of sense, doesn't it? Because the last game ends with... Oh shit. You know what? Let's hold all those thoughts. Perhaps. Let's hold all those thoughts, y'all. Hans. So I think you're gonna have more stamina than me, bud. Alright. Shit. This is so weird. I didn't struggle with this last time. I wonder what's going on. Well, you know what? Now might be the perfect time to go into the whole backstory of everything. Since I seem to be failing miserably at this section. I did not struggle with this at all in my first playthrough. The only bit I took a try or two was once I got deeper into the tunnels and you throw rocks at people and stuff like that. I even managed to kill the guy that comes after you. But, well, the game didn't let me kill him, but I killed him in my own right, goddammit. But yeah, essentially just to catch up on everything. I absolutely love streaming. I find it super, I guess, fun to be able to like... Oh? Okay, maybe speaking and trying to play a game together is not working out so well. Wait. Interesting. At that point, do I maybe have to keep going ahead and ignore Hans's protests of like, oh, we're staying here? Okay. Maybe it will skip? This is insane. Like, I've truly never struggled with this before. Okay, sorry guys. I'm really fucking concentrating. Hey, this is not how you're supposed to handle this section. But if I handle it this way, then god damn it, I handled it this way, and that's valid. Okay, let's enough. We can regale each other with all these stories later. Okay, holy shit, I think I skipped that. Yeah, staying right up Hans Zars' role playing, isn't it?
You're a dead man.
To be honest, this doesn't matter, but I have honor, okay? And that matters.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
You won't get me.
I will get you, sir. And if I don't, gravity will. Gotta get those skills in. Alright, alright.
No, you don't. Fucking hell. Fuck that.
Alright, I managed to kill him. Honor, pride. Honestly, I love Mutt, but he kind of cocked things up for me. I was handling that actually just fine. Come on, hen! Aww. I suffered a terrible fall.
You know the trouble with an adventurous life, son?
Oh.
It can end before it gets started. I might teach you how to handle a sword.
Alright, I'll be continuing for about 10-ish minutes or so, and then I'll probably be winding down.
If you want to convince someone that they're wrong, try using your mouth and not your fists. We did a fine job.
Yeah, I think if anyone wants the context and stuff, I'll reach a certain nice point, so to speak, and then I'll just let you know, oh, the stream's done, I'm just gonna talk about the context and what's happened and catch up on everything. So if you're not interested in that, then you can just click right off when I say that the stream's sort of done.
Being a blacksmith might bring no glory, but it has its benefits. Like keeping your head on your shoulders. Pa. Now, come now. I was the one who raised you, but you know how things really are. Am I dead? Not yet.
Oh.
I'm dead, though.
Martin, you had me sobbing, sir. Sobbing. Now that may have to do with my own parental father figures in my life, but holy shit, sobbing in the first game.
You chose a different path than I wanted for you.
Like, I truly had this sort of
Maybe that's how it was
manic frenzy as I was doing the main quest. Like, I was so immersed in Henry's story.
Once you've chosen the path of adventure, you have to fight. You have to fight till the bitter end.
I should have said that I'm dead as well. Yeah, that's right.
You still have a long way to go till your work is done, Henry. So pull yourself together and wake up. It's not over yet.
Oh, for the love of God, wake up. Pull yourself together, Henry. Oh, thank Christ. Oh, I thought you were done for.
Where am I?
Well, You dropped out of the sky like a shot down hawk.
That's such a fall. Like,
That
it's
fella landed with me.
horrific. Like,
He
a
broke the
truly,
foremost,
how is he not dead?
What are you wearing?
Well, you won't be needing it. We can't be running naked through the woods. And if you're capable of running at all,
Now, where's Mutt?
I've no idea. Just don't worry about your dog. He can look after himself. Like, we've got to disappear. Like, come on, I'll help you up.
Gosh, poor Hen, though. He's been through so much. Hopefully, this playthrough will be easier to get through if I feel a bit less sorry, less sad. If he's enough of a bastard, maybe I'll be like, what a dick. How dare he use his experiences as an excuse to hurt others.
How are you holding up?
Not good. I feel like it's all up for me.
Just hang in there, damn it. Talk.
What a great way to catch a player up to speed.
Horseman.
It's like in
Doing what I can, pal.
in a lot of stories, you do kind of need to do like a lore dump type of thing to catch people up to speed on the rules of the world. Of course, there are interesting and fun ways to go about it, but sometimes it's kind of a necessity, isn't it? That's why I like that they're like, hey, we want to make sure that people have enough context to enjoy this game. This is such a great way of going about it. Because even if you have played the first game, like the type of headspace I was in is I was completely brought back into that manic frenzy that Henry had in the first game. This panic propelling him through absolutely everything.
Bianca.
That is the fortunate side effect of Henry not having much brain is he won't have anything to damage in the fall.
Listen to me. Listen carefully.
How dare you?
Go into the house and grab anything else important from the trunk. Go to the castle.
I won't tolerate this slander.
I'll fetch her and follow right behind.
I'll go with you. No, you do what I say right
What
now.
Henry might not have in intellect, he makes up for in courage, god damn it.
You can hardly stand, damn it. But we'll make it together. You'll see.
I truly felt so much for Hans as well in this moment.
Henry, focus. Henry, pull yourself together. Please. Don't fucking care. We're just imagining things.
It makes what's very soon like about to come all the more understandable with how Hans acts.
You're a warrior. You can do this. It's all right, Henry. I've got you. Just a little further.
Especially when you're able to be truly like vulnerable with someone,
Henry, wake up.
and when you've lost someone as well, there can always be that sort of trepidation. This has got to be harrowing, you know?
Just like father always wanted.
Like Henry is out of his mind dealing
No, we
with
can't
all of
stop.
this, and Hans must be terrified.
Dead. They're all dead.
We aren't yet.
Even though it's obviously taken years for the game to develop, it hasn't been that long for Henry
I see it.
in the grand scheme of things. Especially when I lost someone that was very dear to me. I mean, I'm still not over. I think even a few months ago I started getting really like kind of upset and sad. But I guess the sort of recovery time it takes to recover from that period of sadness gets shorter over time, at least.
Fear not. We mean you no harm. My friend needs help. Please.
Right. I'll see what I can do for him. Let's have a look at you. It's all right.
My parents, they're...
That was just a dream, Henry. We're in the woods. We were ambushed. But don't worry. We'll get you fixed up right as rain.
He's trying to convince himself of that.
Got you all, sons.
Yeah, kick his ass. Oh, Henry just wanna protects the people close to him, even in this state.
Hey, lad! Are you alive, lad?
Literally the energy I had throughout the entire first game was Henry essentially riding on that horse desperately to Talmberg was the energy I carried with me.
100 scallops. They burned it to the ground.
Slaughtered everyone. Who?
Who burned it to the
A
ground?
huge army. They attacked without warning.
Get all the people inside the gates. We have to prepare for the worst. Make all the necessary arrangements.
It's all, like, inducing.
I am Sir Marquardt von Aulitz.
That scale, like, of the size of Skalitz, and then you see the army on the horizon. It's just... in the worst way, incredible.
Get up now. There's work to be done.
But literally, me in my head 24/7 before I go to work.
I ate your ma.
I love Vajana.
Oh, may all the saints be praised. I was afraid you'd never wake up again.
What? Where am I?
Where would you be? Here in my cabin, where you and that pal of yours burst in last night. Slowly, lad. Slowly.
What happened? What about Hans?
He's taken care of for now, but he was on the edge there for a bit. And so were you, lad, so calm yourself. Last night you were 1 foot in the grave already. You were lucky you happened to turn up here.
Well, I have to talk to Hans.
You won't get much out of him now.
Yeah.
He's lost a lot of blood and he has a fever.
But you'll help him, won't you?
God willing. Well, I managed to pull you out of death's grip, so maybe I'll be blessed again. I'll go check on him as soon as I'm done with you. How are you feeling?
I've had worse. My shoulders things a bit, but...
I feel like after him remembering Skalitz and all that, he's
If you weren't, we wouldn't be speaking now. Ah, Your shoulder is looking a lot better. I did my best, but I don't see good no more, especially at night. So I didn't do the best job. It just wouldn't stop bleeding. And now you've moved about, it started up again. Take this and bandage it up. Not much else we can do.
We love a metaphor. We love the literal open wounds of Henry processing his grief be literally manifested in physical form.
Through half of God's bright day, lad. So, if you feel up to it, go ahead. At least we'll see how steady you are on your feet. While you're at it, you can stop by the trough and wash all that nasty grime off of yourself. I found an old tunic. Put it on so you don't catch a chill. It gets cold here by the water. No doubt you'll be famished and need a bite to eat. There's some hot soup.
We all need a Bojana.
If that ain't enough, I put some bread and cheese on the table
Thank you,
outside
Bojana.
for you. And you'll find some of our home-brewed liquor there, too, in case you need bucking up. Don't overdo it.
Oh, I will preciously keep that.
Thanks a lot. May God reward you 1,000-fold. What's your name, by the way?
Bojana's my name.
Well, I'm Henry.
I know. Hans told me. I'll go and check on him. When you're done with everything, come and see me and we'll figure out what to do next.
Terrible fall. Miraculously, you survived the terrible fall, but you lost several main level skill and perk points due to your extensive injuries. You have no choice but to recover and regain them gradually later in the game. I guess that's another discussion, isn't it? If there were, and I really frickin' sincerely hope there's a KCD3, how would you sort of like honor the fact that Henry has truly some considerable combat prowess, but also, I guess, still have that sense of progression that feels quite satisfying? I truly don't have an answer to that. I think there are games like in the Witcher series. I've played all 3 games. I've even played Thronebreaker. I love the Witcher series. They sort of anecdotally make Geralt in sort of cutscenes and in conversation this sort of powerful figure, even with his amnesia issues that he has at some point. But anyways, mechanically he's not, but I don't know if that would feel very unpleasant to play as. I digress. This rant was not a necessary one, but that's something that would be interesting to see how to sort of navigate that. Of course, there's always the option for some sort of terrible fall adjacent type of mechanic. I wouldn't be mad at that. Alright, so before you hop off, there's something I did want to say to those that didn't want to hear the whole context thing, is schedule stuff. So in terms of schedule stuff, I put a little section in the sort of, what is it called? Let me take a quick look. I think it's the About section. There's a schedule little section there. And essentially, my schedule is going to be quite sort of free-form. It's something that is a bit of a bummer. I would love to have a proper schedule because I think that's nice for everyone involved, those who want to watch, and obviously me making sure that I can like sort of have that commitment. But I realize unfortunately that my day-to-day is so variable that there's no way I could commit to a sort of schedule, even before I got physically disabled with my neurodivergence, sort of that ADHD and like ASD, where ADHD is, you know, all of this energy, you're committing to something for a couple weeks sort of thing, but like, you get what I'm saying. It's not very sustainable. So I hope that by being more freeform about it, I will be able to do it more consistently. And yeah, just as it says as well, in that schedule section, I have a 9-to-5 job, so I live in the UK. I will usually, if I do stream in the weekdays, it will be after 5. And in the weekends, I will usually stream, you know, later in the day, not in the morning. Um, oh, I think I got a bit of spam, so okay, that's not relevant. But anyways, yeah, in terms of the schedule stuff, that's that. I really do appreciate your understanding with it. And yeah, if you didn't want to hear any of the context stuff, then please feel free to click off. And thank you so much for watching. I truly didn't expect anyone to watch this, to be honest. I was really thrown off at first. I was like, oh my god, I feel so touched that like people remember me. That was really cool. Yeah, in terms of the context, I want to pick flowers because I think it's cute. So I'm gonna quickly make my way to pick up some flowers. So just to get in the context of what finally got me back into things, it's kind of complicated because it's all sort of interconnected a little bit. So I guess it is going to be a bit like all over the place, the context. But that's the way things are, I guess. So let's make sure we grab everything. Bread, apples, cheese. Nothing like having a medieval experience that makes me want to just have a big loaf of fresh bread. Up. And of course, gotta have the clothes on. Alright, so in terms of the context stuff, basically, I felt kind of awkward with being completely, like, open about everything back in the day. In 2022, what I mean by back in the day. I guess it's just because, I will say, like, a quick disclaimer, this isn't gonna be like super fucking depressing and I'm gonna be like super sad and it's gonna be like really such a bummer. Like, this does have a happy ending. Disclaimer, I'm gonna be talking about like poverty, I'm gonna be talking about mental, physical health, things like that. So if you don't want to hear about that, that's what the context is about, and that's the context that, yeah, I'm back, sort of thing. The positive end of it is essentially that streaming is something that means a lot to me. I love being able to have a sort of space to be able to talk about the things I'm really passionate about in my job. Even though I find QA super fun and super enjoyable, it's not narrative. It's not, you know, writing quests, writing characters, a story. And I've had my energy levels so all over the place. I have this, my hours in the day are not the same hours as someone who's like able-bodied and neurotypical. And so being able to at least have this space where I can connect with narrative and with writing, it means a lot. And that's why I'm back. I want to be able to, in this way that I find more accessible than like trying to write a novel again or whatnot. Yeah, so that's the happy end to it. But if you want to hear the sad context, I'm happy for this to be a bit of a sort of journal that I invite you to read my journal, my sort of audio journal as I pick flowers. But yeah, for brief context, I always kind of found it a bit of a tricky balance with how honest and vulnerable I should be on stream. Partly because of like privacy concerns, which is like very real, and also partly because I've always kind of found it tricky to share my experiences. I've not always had the best luck with, I guess, having my needs matter, my wants matter, and I didn't even realize it at the time why I felt that way. I just felt like that was a normal thing that everyone sort of felt. So yeah, I that's another change I want to make with me getting back into streaming, is I want to, obviously I'm not going to be like, this is my address, let me dox myself, but I do want to be open, I do want to be honest. Yeah, because to be honest with you, especially with like my MS and all that, I mentioned it a little bit before, I have struggled quite a bit with making friends, especially when I moved to the UK. I've made like maybe a couple, 3 friends or so that I'm genuinely really close with and that I do care about a lot.
A bit longer without food, and I'll
But other than that, I haven't had the best luck, and especially with my MS. And then I moved for my job into a new city, a big city, and obviously I got sick like a couple months after I started my job, and so the sort of like maybe camaraderie I was developing with my coworkers got awkward. I think people don't intentionally do it that way, but they do treat people a bit differently, maybe subconsciously. Like, they'll be like, oh, I don't think this person will want to come because they'll probably be too tired, blah, 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 that type of thing. And, yeah, unfortunately, because also it's true, like, I guess I do have less energy levels, so occasionally when I do have plans here and there, even if it's like a virtual D&D game with my close friends, sometimes I do have to cancel, and that really sucks. And it does mean I don't really get to have that sort of connection with people. So streaming is also another way of being able to kind of foster that again, and to be less of a loner, to be honest, less in like my own head. It's not healthy, I think, to constantly have every day that sort of survival mode of, okay, energy levels, managing it for work, okay, dedicating everything to work, okay, always prioritizing work, having my job, maintaining my job, keeping my job. Like, that's so unhealthy, and especially if it's not what gives me like purpose and like true fulfillment and meaning like narrative does. It's just not healthy. But I'm a waffler, we know this. Going back again to the context, it's terrible. My partner and I were both neurodivergent. He's autistic and has ADHD, and well, I'm not diagnosed autistic. I'm only diagnosed ADHD, but I am on the waiting list for quite some time now, and he's pretty confident that I have it. When 2 neurodivergent people talk together, it's a lot like this, and unfortunately I'm holding you hostage to simulate that you have ADHD and ASD as well, so I am so sorry, viewer. I am so sorry. But yeah, that's why I was a bit less open and honest, but essentially back then I was having a lot of struggles. I only briefly touched upon them, but to give a bit more depth to it is, I really was struggling with poverty. I was working in fast food, 0-hour contracts. I begged and begged for more work. I even managed to, in one of the fast food franchises, I even managed to get the boss of another store to give me also work there. So I was working at 2 stores, and even that wasn't enough. So I don't know, guys, like, this was before I got sick. I really wanted to work, but they weren't always very kindly giving me that job. It must be a lot nicer to work in fast food when you're like a teenager just trying to make a bit of like pocket money maybe. But if you're trying to make a living, maybe I was unlucky, I don't know. But yeah, it really didn't work out so great. During that time, I was just a bit overwhelmed. I had completed a degree, you know, granted. A Bachelor of Arts writing degree is not the most profitable, filled with so many opportunity as something else, perhaps. But I've even heard stuff like computer science people are struggling intensely with finding jobs, so unfortunately it might be a widespread thing. But yeah, I've tried applying to many sort of permanent positions that weren't 0-hour contracts and wasn't having any luck. I was completing like computer courses and stuff like that. That's how I managed to get some qualifications for QA for my job that I'm working in now, actually. But unfortunately, during that time, I got, with MS they're called relapses. Essentially a relapse is like, I guess you could call it like an attack. So MS basically is a neurodegenerative disease. It's an autoimmune disease condition, which affects your brain and your spine. And so your body, I suppose, will incorrectly attack your brain and your spine. and depending on where that is, it can give you different symptoms. And with the type of MS I have, relapsing and remitting, it means that for a period of something like a few weeks, I will be struggling with that symptom until slowly over time it will reduce, type of thing, or go away. And then there are periods where it can flare up, like if I'm sick or if it's too hot, etc., or if I'm tired, for example. And I didn't know, but back in that time when I was working in like my fast food jobs, I got my first relapse, and it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad, you know? It was just like kind of, I would describe it as like uncomfortable. It didn't like affect my job really. I was able to still work behind the grill and all of that good stuff, and just, I felt like weird, and a kind of like, I don't think this is normal. Maybe I should like get a GP appointment, but I was, you know, poverty, all of that shit, like I was really in the like, oh my god, like I just need to keep going type of mindset. And I just didn't get a GP appointment. The problem was a few months after that, I got my second relapse. And this one was optic neuritis, so it affected my eye. And I personally am a hypochondriac, so I'm trying not to go into like the specifics of what these are in case someone else is like, oh, I don't want to hear all the specifics. I want to treat others as I want to be treated. I hate it. I feel so, sorry, side tangent. I feel so guilty when like people I really like watching and stuff try and talk about medical stuff, and they go into like nitty gritty details about symptoms, and I'm just like, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna skip like 30 seconds and hope that you're not talking about the symptoms anymore. But I digress. Optic neuritis affected my vision in one eye, and that unfortunately was to the point where it affected my job. And this was a different fast food job I was working at. And I basically let my manager know. I said, I'm so sorry. I've got this unexpected last-minute hospital appointment. And then I kind of gave her a bit of context and all of that good stuff. And it was weird. The way she reacted was a bit odd. Oh, other context is one of my managers was, I mean, allegedly, shall we say, a creep, and not a great guy, shall we say. This was the other manager I had, was a female manager who was better, you know. She thankfully didn't seem to be a creep, so the bar is low, but hey, at least she was better. But I was so disappointed because she actually never gave me another shift at that point. And it was like an emergency and all that. I gave her all the context necessary and everything, and she never gave me a shift at that point. So this was once I had my second, that I know of, MS relapse, and I basically lost my job. Now, in hindsight, I could have maybe tried to get legal support, but I was in such a bad place, you guys. Like, that poverty, depression, like, it gave me so much insight. Like, I'm someone who grew up, I would say, privileged, you know, having that sort of comfortable, not like luxurious, but like pretty comfortable middle class upbringing is a point of privilege to have. I was able to have holidays. I always got Christmas presents and birthday presents. Like, I grew up privileged. So even though we had some troubles with money and finances, especially with the stuff that happened in 2008 and 2009, and there were some poor boundaries with discussing finances with me as a child, which made me quite anxious and stressed. I don't think you can understand what that sort of mentality, that poverty depression mentality is like until you've experienced it. It was harrowing. Like, to the point where, like, even a lot of my family members who are they've not been through these sort of experiences, and if they have, at least not in many decades, they just didn't, want to talk to me as well, to be honest. And to some degree I could understand. I'd probably find it hard to talk to me too, but that doesn't take away the hurt that I felt, you know? I really needed support. I really needed people. And I'm so grateful for people like my partner who was going through it with me, to be fair, but who was such an anchor, such a rock. Yeah. So during that period of time, I was freaking out because I finally made a GP appointment. It was something I couldn't ignore anymore. I thought to myself, all right, I'm getting some weird health stuff happening. I don't think this is normal. I can't ignore it. My vision has been like this for quite some time now. It's been a few weeks. What the fuck is going on? I got that emergency appointment and all of that good stuff. And they checked my eyes and they didn't see any issues, any problem. And so they decided to have neurology appointment for me. Now, once I finally got to having that appointment, my issue went away. Thankfully, the neurologist was like, hey, just for some due diligence, I'm going to do an MRI. But that was like months and months and months from now. In fact, before I would have that MRI, I would be moving to a different city for my QA job that I'm doing now. But you know, I was okay. It was very, very, very scary. Very scary. I think a lot of people who have that sort of able-bodied neurotypical experience will kind of be like shocked when they have something weird happen to their health like that.
Wandering around. I have a duty to Sir Hans.
Okay, Henry, you gotta take me out of it like that. You're gonna make me forget my train of thought, Hen. Okay, oh god, I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, I remember it. But anyways, this is gonna be so long. I bet no one's gonna listen to this, but if you do, ooh, I too like learning people's inner lives. I won't judge you. I relate to you. Yeah, anyways. No one expects it, no one likes it, but I was just relieved that it was finally all normal, finally probably okay. And anyways, there's gonna be that MRI appointment. Maybe I can book a train or something so I can go back to my old city. It'll be fine. It'll be good. It'll be whatever. And unfortunately, I do the whole move. I have to go deep into overdrafts and all of that. And I finally managed that sort of dream, being able to work in the gaming industry, QA job at a company that looks, you know, really cool, you know, really nice sort of thing. Not like a AAA company, but a company that's not completely indie either, so I have a bit more security in that sense emotionally after the whole fast food whiplash adventures. And unfortunately, after just like, I think 2 months, maybe 3 months of working there, I thought I was doing a great job. Like, I really put my heart and soul into it. Like, truly my heart and soul. Even though I feel like there were a couple of hurdles along the way, I really put my all. And something bad happened. It was my 3rd relapse. I will go into some detail of the symptoms. So if this type of stuff freaks you out, maybe just like mute me for like 30 seconds. I'll quickly say all the symptoms. Okay, starting now. So, essentially, my balance was fucked. It got so bad to the point where I couldn't walk anymore. I was in a wheelchair, and I was throwing up because it was so bad. Also, to the point where I couldn't even keep food and water anymore. Alright, if you skipped, not skipped, muted me, you can unmute me, it's good, I'll do a thumbs up. So obviously, what I just said, that last bit, that's when I was like, I have to go to the hospital. Like, this is so fucking bad. Like, it happened out of nowhere. Like, genuinely, I was working in the office. I work from home, thankfully, for my job now. I was working in the office, just testing a level, no problem. Everything was fine. And then, boom, just like that, boom, the symptoms, it didn't get as bad as I described it immediately, but it was already starting. And I was freaking the fuck out. I was so freaked out. Oh my god. Like, I was starting to have like a fucking panic attack. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And I was like, okay, it's fine. Food poisoning. That's it, right? Just food poisoning. And when it finally did get, as I described with those symptoms, that bad, that's when I was like, okay, hospital time. And it was a bit of an awkward process. I went to A&E, and it was a lot of back and forth. They did like a CAT scan, they couldn't find anything, and other things, they couldn't find anything. They wanted to like keep me in the hospital, but there wasn't enough space, and they didn't really know what was going on. So they're like, are you fine enough? And I was like, I hope so. So they sent me back, told me to come to like outpatients or whatnot. And it was a back and forth over the weekend like that, till I went on the Friday, till on the Monday, I essentially finally was able to get an MRI on the Sunday. And unfortunately, that MRI was able to give them a pretty good indication. It was at that point, it's crazy, you guys. It's so weird when a doctor tells you bad news. I'm laughing nervously, like, what the fuck? It's so weird. It's not like, I think when you're anxious, you always think of like the worst case scenarios on how something might end up, you know? But even though I'm a chronic overthinker, nothing could have prepared me for what he was about to say. And in the grand scheme of things, as much as I don't want to invalidate myself, it could be worse. It truly could be worse. It could have been worse. But obviously, if you grow up able-bodied and all of that stuff, like, you don't expect all of a sudden when you're in your 20s to, like, boom, hear this type of news, you know? And so he basically told me, I really appreciated his style. He was like, I can't remember what he said. He said 90-something% sure that it's something called MS. And yeah, I basically then stayed in the hospital. They did more tests and all that, and the verdict was that it was indeed relapsing, remitting multiple sclerosis. And it was active. If you've had at least 2 relapses within the past, is it a year or 2 years or something like that, then you're eligible for the highest efficacy disease-modifying therapies. So I am on an immunosuppressant. My immune system is not amazing right now, which is why I get sick a lot. It is why my symptoms start when I get sick, if I'm like quite ill. So yeah, spoons, we love managing them. Yeah, that was really hard to recover from. I got something called neural fatigue. They had to boost me up with a shit ton of steroids. And obviously I was in a very anxious headspace, you know. Growing up, despite having the sort of privileged background I had some pretty awful things happen for most of my childhood, unfortunately. And so I carry with me a lot of anxiety and a lot of, like, trauma, frankly. And yeah, those steroids, I must have heightened those feelings of anxiety. I feel like I had this crazy weird anxious thing where, like, I woke up my partner and I was like, I figured it out. I was like, so I feel like I was being like psychosis-y or whatever. I was like, I figured it out. Like some Sherlock Holmes, like some druggie that has a fucking trip where they find the meaning of life or something. And yeah, no, I don't know what I figured out. I was off my mind, I think. But unfortunately, it took a lot to recover from that. I wasn't able to return full-time to my job. I was so sure I was going to lose my job. Even though it shouldn't be like this, even though no job should, you know, use your horrible for life diagnosis to be like, ooh, we don't want someone with this complication in our company. I was so sure that I was really going to lose my job, and I was so upset. You know, I went through a bit of a woe is me, which to a degree was obviously justified. You're allowed to be upset at your circumstances whilst also recognizing that things could be worse and being grateful for what you do have. But yeah, I thankfully didn't lose my job, but I was so pissed as well because I fucking put my ass into my job. Like, I didn't just put 100%, I put 100 and fucking like billion% into what I did. So I was just like, fuck. there no one cares about the 100 billion% that I put in my job, because this like gets rid of all that. Like, it's just like, ooh, she's been off for a month now. Yikes, you know? But anyways, with reduced hours, I think I worked like 9 to like 3:30, and then for a couple weeks, and then I would go like 9 to like 4, and 9 to 4:30 for like a week or two, and then finally back to 9 to 5. And I thankfully did not lose my job, but I do feel like hard work trying to convince people to be like, hey guys, you know that 100 billion%, I don't think I'm physically able to do that, but the fact that I was doing that in the first place was kind of crazy, right? Anyways, this is such a long-winded explanation, isn't it? Unfortunately, because of the genuine like fear of that period of poverty, that sort of like genuinely the trauma of it, I could not fathom going back there. Like, I was grateful that I was, you know, getting better. Full disclosure, I'm not a doctor. I'm not 100% sure. But with relapsing and remitting, you either make a full recovery or a partial recovery. And unfortunately, I do think my relapse was quite bad, that I've made more of like a partial recovery. So if I'm like sometimes things like elevators can kind of set me off. I think my brain's still kind of like trying to correct my balance a little bit. And yeah. Unfortunately, that means I feel disabled pretty much on like a day-to-day basis. I don't feel able to do the same things I did before. Like, I think I got diagnosed in 2023 or 2025, and I think I can only count on one hand the days I felt almost back to normal, who I used to be, type of thing. So with that context, work was an obsession. It became my life, especially because like I really wasn't guaranteed to keep that job, and my probation got extended as well, and I was absolutely, I guess, not surprised, but really disappointed, I suppose, by that. And yeah, I didn't stop kind of obsessing and worrying about it, because if I don't have the same capacity as a normal person. And it's awful. If you're disabled or not, everyone, in my opinion, unless you're like a villain, deserves to live with dignity and respect. And so the fact that like, as I wasn't enough, essentially. And like internalizing those subconscious biases I didn't realize I had. I wasn't able to accept that I was enough as I was, even though I wasn't as capable as I used to be. And that's kind of part of the reason why I wanted to talk about sort of like that toxic positivity narrative surrounding disability. Because quite frankly, it's okay that I'm not as I used to be. I mean, emotionally it fucking sucks, but like I don't have to overcome, you know? I don't have to be like, oh, but look at this, I'm so proud of you. It's enough to be like, well, even if I'm not here, I'm doing this, and that's okay, and that's enough, you know? It's really fucked up and dark, because if we use that line of thinking, if this isn't okay and enough, no disabled person would ever be hired. Ever. That's grim, innit? That's pretty fucking grim. You know. Yikes. Yeah. Anyways. That connects with the happier sort of angle, is I I really owe a lot to Kingdom Come Deliverance too, ironically enough. That's why I wanted to start, and I truly want to finish this series. Again, I don't want to make that a definitive schedule, a must, but a hope, you know? Something to work towards. If I end up doing 15 episodes and then I switch off to something else for a bit, that's okay too. I'd like to just fully commit and stick to this, but I don't want to set it in stone. This game made me realize something. When I finished it, I haven't had the post-game depression hit so hard like that before, and I assumed and internalized that it must be because this is probably one of my favorite games of all time. I truly love character-driven stories, and there's something about Henry's character that I strongly identify with, and I think it's that element of moving forward and caring so profoundly and deeply about others, that sort of naivety, that courage, like all the things that I strongly relate and resonate with me. And just, yeah, gosh, this game truly blew me away. It will all come together, what I'm about to say. I truly laughed, I cried, I smiled. I was able to save up for some speakers for my birthday because I loved the fucking music so much, guys. I was like, oh, if anyone wants to get me a little present, can you help chip in for these speakers? Because the music is incredible. And then like being able to have the like last bit of the game, hearing the soundtracks and stuff with these kick-ass speakers. They're cool. They may not be the best of the best, but they're pretty fucking cool, you guys. And yeah, also having a job and being able to save for like not a laptop that my keys were falling apart. That was pretty cool too. And yeah, you don't have to hear my fucking laptop like fans whirring like a mad crazy thing anymore, which is improvement. But yeah, the post-game depression hit so intensely and so deeply, and I simply assumed that it's because this was one of my favorite games. After internalizing that, with a bit of help along the way, I realized it was more than that. I realized that I truly loved KCD1. Truly, my heart is in the story and in the characters. But I suppose my expectations were just kind of like, oh, KCD2. That would be so incredible. I'd love to play that. And my expectations, I guess, felt more grounded in reality, because Warhorse clearly demonstrated their amazing capabilities with KCD1, and then just absolutely, I don't even know the expression, was it threw it out of the park with KCD2 or whatever? They fucking did an incredible job. And I guess it made me internalize my own disillusionment I feel with the industry. I mean, now that I'm part of the industry, right? I don't want to delve too much into that, just in case. But I guess I realized that maybe I can say in a more broader sense, there have been a lot of layoffs. I hate using LinkedIn and stuff, but like you constantly see posts about people getting laid off in like those sort of circles and stuff, or then even people that you've sort of worked with and stuff like that getting laid off, and you're like, holy shit. And just even people like in my QA course that taught me having their own struggles, and I was just so disillusioned with the industry and so disappointed. It felt like there was only profit guiding everything. And I was like, well, Warhorse, don't come for me. I love you guys. But I was like, what's the difference then? KCD3, with how successful KCD2 has been, if they do make a third, which I really hope they do, I'd rather be disappointed than never have the third game. I'm like, there's no way it's going to be good. Because profit will always be the beating heart for anything, isn't it? And once you get to a certain scale, a certain size, there's always, it becomes more of like a waiting game for when like the consumers will sort of realize that the facade the studio has is a facade and it's still profit driven, even if it's the illusion of not. And I was like, well shit, I've got these pretty intense disillusionments with the industry, and KCD2 being such a fucking masterpiece has, I guess, really made me feel that quite intensely. I realized, why am I feeling that so intensely? On some level, I must not be feeling fulfilled in my own day-to-day life if I'm so deeply impacted by this feeling of disillusionment, isn't it? And that's when I realized that writing, streaming, I haven't properly done that in years. In fact, I think the last time I did writing was during a game jam at my company last year. And at that point I hadn't written for years as well. I thought there has to be more than just me dedicating my life to an industry that doesn't care about me, fundamentally. Do you know what I mean? And so, why can't I carve my own path and my own meaning with narrative and what I enjoy? And I realized it's because of the expectations I put on myself, even before my MS, even before that, with my neurodivergencies, it was all or nothing, my mentality. A good example to illustrate it is, it's important with MS to obviously, have a disease-modifying therapy, thank you very much, but also diet, all the good normal stuff, like diet, exercise, sleep, don't be stressed, which, very cool with someone with probably an anxiety disorders. Very easy and cool to not be stressed. And, well... my all or nothing mentality manifested in this way. I've been really struggling to do exercise because obviously job, work, my whole meaning, everything work. And so I thought to myself, I've always set a goal of 7,000 steps, 7,000 steps, 7,000 steps. You know what? Even if I don't do 7,000, doing a little bit is better than doing nothing. I always tell people, hey, it's okay. As long as you're at least doing something, it's better than nothing. Why can't I practice what I preach? And so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna walk outside after work. Just a quick walk. Whatever I do, it's fine. And it devolved around me being like, alright, at 5 o'clock specifically, I will walk till 5:30. Exactly this time, I will then go to my partner's place to pick him up, and then we can walk home together, and blah blah blah. And it was starting to be this rigid, structured thing that I managed to do for a week, and then it fizzled out completely. And it's because I crave that sort of structure, but I also don't have the executive function capacities to follow that structure very rigidly. And so, yeah, I'm trying to get over myself in that sense. I want to get over myself. I don't want to be like, oh, I'm gonna do this and this. Like I said, I want to just finish KCD2. If I don't, oh well. It happens, So if I'm able to stream tomorrow, I don't know. I have a D&D game tomorrow that will probably be a few hours, so I might be back home late, so I don't know / think that may be happening. But if I stream tomorrow, great. Normally in the past I would have been like, oh, you kind of want to space it out a little bit, type of maybe do a stream on a Tuesday and then a Friday or something. But yeah, I wanna not have that mentality. And so, here I am. This, I swear, I've probably been talking longer than I streamed. I have genuinely been talking for almost an hour. Oh my god. Well, in all seriousness, seeing people like Ninja and stuff, giving me such a warm welcome, is so sweet. I truly, genuinely didn't expect anyone to remember me. At all. Genuinely. So I think that kind of emboldened me and gave me the courage to give a sincere, just, hey, this is me. and this is what's been going on. And also, I want to do it right this time. I do think, of course, there has to be certain sort of boundaries in place, because it's healthier in that sense. I want to be very open, and I want to even be like vulnerable as I have been, but I don't want to like get to the point of like toxicity, isn't it? I think there's a fine line and a fine balance with things like that. But yeah, I don't want to sort of hide behind a sort of like shield type of thing and like, oh, I should only put my best face forward. If I come in stream and I've got like circles under my eyes and my hair's messy, then who cares? You know, I want to be able to be more authentic. And I'm happy that I got a chance to already make a big start on that. So I don't have an outro. This has been the Pinguini, and thank you very much. Bye, guys. Awkward me clicking end stream right now. Bye.